It is the beginning of the quest for Alliant Motorsports Biggest Prize. Welcome to Alliant Motorsports Champions, highest level of racing Alliant Motorsports has to offer, and welcome to Bahrain. This circuit, a tricky 15 corners that are so very rear dependent, will test our best drivers and see who can bring those tires to the end and who can be the fastest over a 50% race distance. We heard from De Burles mentioning that I believe it was a Desi that didn't get a great qualifying in, but that's all behind us as all the the five lights are on, and we are going to get racing here on Alliant Motorsports. It looks like Dougie Falcons getting a phenomenal run off the line here against Beckyb. Side by side, they go into the first corner as Beckyb gets pushed around the outside by Dougie Falcons, and they go side by side for the duration of this following straight. The McLaren driver lining up behind, and we've got a massive collision in the back as well. And that is several drivers already with significant damage.
And I believe that is Adrian Faber. Just up ahead is, looks like Jonathan Chen go diving down the inside of that slow hairpin right-hand corner. They're going to go too wide now. No, it looks like Chen round the outside on those medium tires doesn't quite have the grip, and Adrian Faber is going to dive down the inside, retake that position onto the back straight. Just pushing Jonathan Chen off the track there a little bit, and the Iron Hammer sneaks through.
He does. An Iron Hammer elevating himself up one spot. Let's see if he can do two around the outside of Adrian Faber as he gets tipped and spins out, colliding with the wall.
Missed him, and now he has to defend from the Mercedes with the slipstream, and he's going to be looking down the inside of Chen.
That he is, and these two drivers go side by side into the first corner. The Alpine driver around the outside. He tries to get a better exit, but those soft tires on the Mercedes working much better at the moment.
Here of Beckyb. Does Beckyb leave him enough space? Yes, they do. They're going side by side here through the first couple of chicanes. Dougie Falcons leaving plenty of space. Better exit, though, with DRS assistance. Goes into turn 4 now. Side by side they go. Beckyb, though, a little bit more grip on the inside. Dougie Falcons has to back off.
Beckyb putting on a defensive clinic today, always forcing. And 13, you might see driver error as this stint progresses. Meanwhile, Andrew Sichting making an attempt to defend against duck lovers, but no such luck. And that is the now on board with Andrew S. Still, it feels like we cannot get unglued from this battle today, as it's quite a train as he spins off the track and collides with the wall in turn number 12, and that is, I'm not sure if there's any damage on board his car.
And they're right next to each other, so this will be definitely very interesting up until the end.
Absolutely right. Main Chief in the Mercedes making a move past Joseph Shuto.
From Duck Lovers on those hard compound tires is now going to be attacking Main Chief. Both drivers completely out of battery, but whatever he can do to try to get past Main Chief as soon as possible, that will definitely help. Of course, he's got that 3-second time penalty he will have to nurse until the end of the race.
However you prefer it. That is the team, or Chen telling his team principal that the tires are fine. Woo, as the tires are not so fine here, as Patowski makes a particularly late move and makes it a 2-for-1, but as well, side by side they go, and the Ferrari's got the inside to the next corner. Not so fast, says the Williams, and those two continue to fight as the Williams driver dives a particularly late move on his rival, touching him not once, not twice. Boy, oh boy, Wheaton, the FIA is going to have plenty to take a look at after, so we'll keep an eye out on that. The Pil Delta on this track, I think around in the ballpark of 20-something odd seconds, so he will be dropped significantly as Impervious gets caught off guard with Joseph Shuto ahead. Despite his mediums being 50 laps of age, Joseph Shuto pits with 17 laps of wear in his tires. 3 wide now through the first corner they go as the Alpha Tauri suffers some contact and nearly spins off the track. That is Jaquan, and he loses a whole heap of time. And we got some team radio from Ferrari noting that noting to Beckyb that Chen is gaining at about 1 second per lap. Oh, Beckyb getting particularly close behind Dougie Falcons. We will hope that he did not suffer any damage there, but he knows that Chen is approaching rapidly. I wonder if that is played into him letting Dougie Falcons through. Not so much by the looks of it, as they go side by side. Phenomenal racecraft from this. You do have DRS. You can see the rate at which they're gaining on him along the main straight and switching up the racing lines here. looking to be trying to share the DRS, but of course the side-by-side action between these guys is costing him so much time, nearly making contact too on exit from turn number 3. As they go side-by-side into turn number 4 once again, and once again the Ferrari driver taking the outside line, getting the traction, and getting ahead of his McLaren rival.
Yeah, absolutely, but here's Jonathan Chen diving the inside of the McLaren. I bet Dougie Falcons was not expecting that at this point in the race as they get real touchy here, and he is now ahead of the McLaren driver.
Try to victimize Beckyb. There are 7 laps remaining, Wheaton. One could expect that if he gets ahead cleanly, he will be able to just drive away and manage his tires until the end of the race. And barring any mistakes from the Ferrari driver, it looks like Dougie Falcons, as we have just discussed some mistakes from Ferrari drivers. The other Ferrari drivers, Joseph Shudo, few revolutions remaining around the circuit as Jetty fights Spicy so very hard. The two touch along the main straight, and it is the Williams driver taking the inside for this first corner, barely giving his rival any space whatsoever outside. The Williams on the inside. Who's going to be the bravest, breaking the Williams driver closer to the inside and a little bit farther up on his rival, dictates the line, forcing the Haas driver around the outside. But he is not going to give up just yet. The two touch, the two nearly collide, and the Jetty in the Haas spins off the track. Here's to the end. Would love to know what kind of tire wear figures he's got.
So Dougie Falcons appears to have a puncture. His front left is rattling, and he's losing 2-3 seconds a lap. Those mediums have had it, and that is Dougie Falcons' stint over. He's got 1 lap left to go.
See the closing speed of that Aston Martin, and I don't know what Dougie's going to have to do to defend this position, but I'm sure that Wadapatowski knows what's going on as Dougie Falcons nearly loses the car, then gets tapped by Wadapatowski, and then goes off the track as well. Just missed Jonathan Chen and Beckyb crossing the start-finish line to get first and second respectively in the Bahrain Grand Prix. Duck Lovers outlasting his rivals on those hard tires. Chen putting on a show, and quite the contender for that as well. Beckyb driving a stellar race, putting on a defensive clinic against his rivals, and ultimately benefiting.